We believe it's time that young people in our city, our nation, our world, hear the sound of a new heartbeat. One that beats for something more than money, more than fame, more than popularity, more than a temporary feeling. A heart that beats with freedom, with truth, with peace, with life, with hope, with love, with faith, with true satisfaction and fulfillment. And it looks like, sounds like, feels like a heart that beats for Jesus. I believe in youth, young people, because I believe that young people are called not just for tomorrow, but for now. And so much, like in the Bible, when you read it, a lot of the young people, or the people that Jesus is talking about, were young people. They weren't like, 7-year-olds. They were like 16, 17, 18 young people. And it's amazing how much of the church has always been built on the passion and movement of young people.
A lot of my passion is telling young people, telling young guys and young girls, and just reinforcing their identity and their value, their worth, and try to fill those holes where there's questions and where there's gaps.
I believe in youth because it's such a key, crucial age in a person's life. When they come out of being a kid, they're just in their parents, they do everything their parents tell them, they go where their parents say, and they come out and they're just finding themselves, they're finding their own identity in who they are as a person.
God uses people of all ages, so youth aren't just the future, but they are right now. And I just love that when they're passionate and on fire and they've got discovering all these gifts and talents and everything that God has actually placed in their life. I just love seeing a young person fully alive, like having fun.
Psalm 100 verse 4 says, "Enter his gates with thanksgiving and his courts with praise." And for young people and even anybody to live in a Christian walk with God, we need to know how to get ourselves into his presence, how to actually live in the presence of God. And so knowing and having a heart of worship is vital, especially in this day and age where there's so much pressure and so many distractions. I think young people who know how to worship and know how to engage their heart with Jesus are unstoppable. And so we've got to have great worship that is connecting young people's hearts. And it's got to always be at the front. It always leads the way. In the Bible, the army was always led by the musicians. And that's kind of funny because they're not warriors, they're not really the fighters, but actually worship is the greatest way that we can fight the enemy and step into the presence of God regularly. So we've got to have a sound of worship that captures young people's hearts.
My heart for worship is that people, whether they're alone or together or at church, would feel the presence, the tangible presence of God.
There's a significance about people resonating with the sounds, and I really feel like the songs that are coming out of our youth ministry are going to become a flag for a lot of our young people that they're waving, and that sometimes they don't know how to put into words their experience. And I really feel like these songs are going to help them process and put into words the things they're experiencing about God and in youth ministry and in church, and they're going to be flags that they're waving as this is the cry of my heart, this is the expression of what I'm feeling and the expression of my experience.
Forever yours, it's your will in my life, your ways my desire, so awaken my heart, Lord, awaken my heart, lift my eyes up to see, be your hands and your feet, so awaken my heart, Lord, awaken my heart.
With this new Heartbeats album, EP, I feel like it's refreshing the hearts of our young people to worship God from that spirit where it's like I'm laying down my life again. It's like my heartbeat is God's. It's like at the very core of who we are is our heart, and that's what comes out in our worship. It's like the heartbeat of worship, our heartbeat of praise for Jesus.
And this church has always had a very unique sound, and sort of an edgy sound and sort of a raw sound, not overly produced, not overly perfect, but quite real and raw. So I think that obviously translates in the songs. I think the songs themselves are very well written and very heartfelt. Each one is a person's story, you know, is a person's revelation on a certain topic.
It's actually extremely timely for our youth ministry in our church. It's been a while since we've brought out any of our own songs or, you know, own stuff that we've written, played, and it's just come at a really important time where we believe this is a year of breakthrough, and from whatever has been and whatever will come, we believe that God has drawn a line in the sand for our youth ministry, and we believe that this EP is the beginning of a whole new wave of thousands of young people worshipping Jesus. And every song has come from a place of true encounter with Jesus, true worship.
Yeah, you can hear not just like the hearts of songwriters and the singers, but you can hear like the heart of, you know, the youth and the heart of our pastors. And that's kind of like what really shines through to me when I kind of heard it from start to finish. I was like, oh, this sounds like C3 Youth.
But I think it's really cool. Every generation has a sound, and so to be able to like capture and release that, and especially for our world to know that the sound of this generation isn't depression or brokenness. The sound of this generation is actually victory and fun and power. So I just love that we get to release it.
I see for our youth ministry, there's a whole new wave of student leaders where once they were timid or maybe shy about stepping out in their schools. There's like a fresh boldness and just a whole new excitement about reaching their friends, reaching their peers, and I really believe that across the nation we're going to see a whole new wave of young people who are coming into the house of God, who are not just here for the fanfare and for the hype, but they're here to build the church. They're here to experience God, and kind of people are getting over the substitutes. People are getting over the counterfeit and really wanting the real deal.
So I really see hundreds and thousands of young people gathered across the Northern Beaches and North Shore in halls, cafes, homes, all different places, and young people who really know that they are called, young people who are not given to living a life pursuing parties and popularity and lots of followers on Instagram, but actually they are pursuing Jesus. They're passionate, they're not afraid, they're not awkward or ashamed about the fact that they love Jesus. They're convinced that living for Christ is better than any other calling or any other purpose in life. And I see them winning families, winning friends, bringing people who have been addicted to drugs and getting set free. I see a sound of worship for sure that I really believe leads the way into the future. And I see young people who used to be caught up in a sound that sounded like the world, that tasted like the world, discovering the presence of God in their everyday life through worship. And that's what I really see for the future.
I am coming back to a heart of worship. You fill my life with joy. Another wave of your spirit floods my soul. Everything I have is yours. I am running straight to the Savior's voice. I know that I hear your call, and it's the gift of your grace that strengthens me. I'm leaving what was before.
How did today go?
Today it went really well.
You washed away my yesterday, my yesterday.
Bye.